all is done and dusted now. All the news, reactions, and furore that greeted the appointment of Eric Chelle as the new super coach has now come to an end. Why? Because he has been unveiled. The work has started now. Our own responsibility as Nigerians, as football-loving Nigerians, as journalists, as pundits, is to support whoever is in charge of the national team, be it a Nigerian, an African, an expatriate, what have you. So, mission World Cup 2026 is mission impossible, but also it is not totally impossible. We are just at the top of the table. So, who knows? Back to win Zimbabwe in March will take us to top two on the table. So now we have to stop all the bickerings, all the arguments. Myself, I was not happy with the appointment. I felt it was a spat on the face of our, because if we can bring a Malian to coach Nigeria Super Eagles, it shows that we are placing Mali on a pedestal that is as equal to that of France, as that of England, Brazil, or what have you. But like I said, that is done and dusted now. He has been unveiled. We need to give the team the support. He will take charge of the Chan Eagles first in next month's Chan, and then we hope that he gets the players in good form for the World Cup qualifiers. And then, but at the end of the day, if Nigeria gets to qualify for the World Cup, it will boost his CV, of course. But for a lot of we Nigerians that are hoping to go for the Japan World Cup in 2026, it will also be for our own good if the Super Eagles do not fail to qualify for the World Cup back edition. Of course, all these side comments on social media, they have a way of getting to the players and the coaches. So let all those rankles, let all those comments stop for now. Let's embrace him, whatever he does. That's okay. For the first games, now a lot of people do not know why he was sacked from Mali. It wasn't because they lost at home to or they failed to beat Madagascar, but he dropped Tottenham midfielder US Bissouma from the team after the AFCON, and the federation pressured him, bring him back. He said no, playing to as the coach of the Super Eagles, you must also to be diplomatic.
Eric Chelle, as we may like to call him, comes as a bit of shock because in the history of coaches' appointment for the Super Eagles in Nigeria, it's either we go for the homegrown coaches, the one we call the local coaches, or we go for the foreign coaches. And when we say foreign coaches, not a foreign coach from an African country. So in terms of that, it kind of bruised the ego of Nigerians as a football mad nation. We think we are the best in everything when it comes to football. So that appointment came as a bit of shock that, oh, if we had to go for a foreign coach, it had to be a Malian. But that is just on the other side of it. Aside from the fact that he bruised the ego of Nigerians, being an African foreign coach, it doesn't really cause for a lot of alarm, because if you look at the kind of results that Eric Chelle, the kind of credentials that he brings for this job, he looks capable to me. He's been in charge of the Mali national team for a number of games, 22 games in charge of the team, winning 14. He's only tasted defeat on a very few occasions. And at the last Africa Cup of Nations too, it was widely said that Mali played one of the best football at that tournament. They agonizingly lost out in the quarterfinals of that competition against the hosts. Eric Chelle's appointment came to me personally as a bit of shock. But if you have to look at it deeply, it's a reality that we must live with. Maybe not financially, in terms of the financial realities, but at least in terms of the coaching pedigree that we are looking for, it ticks the boxes. And that sounds a kind of note to most of our local coaches as well, to get themselves upgraded in terms of certifications and exposure, more importantly. During the reign of Pesero, there were issues of backlog of salaries and all of that. Chelle's case might not be too different, because the federation have a budget. From the budget, I'm not sure what has been set aside for the payment of salaries and all of that. But from what we understand from time past, the Nigeria Football Federation has struggled to pay salaries of their coaches from time to time.